Enough time has passed. It's clear how badly you guys want a sequel to this video, so it's time for me to make my move, starting off with Season 2 Episode 2, The Ice. The episode starts off with Finn and Jake being exhausted after staying awake for 7 days of riding each other's meat. So they go to sleep. Well, they try to go to sleep, but they can't because a horse is watching them and making them uncomfortable. Yo, Finn, there's a Diddy party later on. You gotta be there. There's gonna be dick and balls everywhere. Bring your friend over as well. Yeah, the guy who can stretch really long. He'll be real useful. So after getting catcalled, they try closing the curtains so they don't have to see the horse looks maxing on them, but the moon's reflection made the horse's shadow loom above them anyways. So they decide to confront the horse, but it's geeked as hell, stoned to the max. Talking to that crackhead is the equivalent of reciting the B-movie script to a brick wall, so Jake just moves it away, but it comes back because the cow doesn't know how to take a hint. So Jake and Finn try put a blindfold on it, but it still sees like this. So Finn comes up with a great plan.
Dude, Pooh Brain means we can lure it away from here using music. Everything brainless likes music.
Which is true. It's why I don't use background music in my videos anymore. At first, Jake plays Beethoven, but it doesn't work because Beethoven is a fraud. So then they try Mozart, but that just lures snakes because Mozart just stabs people in the back. I'll never forgive you, you bastard. Mozart! The horse's Goku versal invulnerability got so irritating to Jake that he wanted to kill it, and him being tired didn't help at all. So Finn and Jake came to a peaceful compromise, which involved dressing up the horse as a bunny so the birds can fly away with it and eat it alive. It was either this or they were gonna threaten Eminem to release new music. So the horse got lucky, honestly. All in all, this was a respectable and valid crash out. The birds then dropped the cow into Finn and Jake's house and made a run for it because they realized it had AIDS, monkeypox, and COVID-19. And at this point, the boys were losing their shit and started crashing out by complimenting each other.
You're a great listener.
You know what, Roman? You have a kind soul.
What are you laughing at? You smell amazing.
Well, you have impeccable manners!
After Finn and Jake's lover spat is over, Finn kicks the cow in the ass, and the Ice King comes out. No, not like that. He literally came out of the homunculus. A tired Finn and Jake then fight Ice King, who could barely find any ice cubes to use because that's just normal. So this fight was the equivalent to watching Ino and Sakura battle it out. It was entertaining but for the wrong reasons. And eventually, Finn and Jake beat the Ice King, where they find out Ice King was spying on them to learn how to be happy. If he watched one of my YouTube videos, then he'd be very happy. I'm just saying. And during that yapping session, they all fell asleep and Ice King still wasn't happy after a good night's rest, which was actually the moral of the story. Get a good night's sleep or Eminem will release a new album. On to the next episode. Season 5, episode 38, Red Stuffed. Wow, that's a lot of episodes for a season. The episode starts off with Finn, Jake and Marceline exploring this underground city for this thing called the Spoon of Prosperity that Princess Bubblegum wanted. And after they found this item, Jake ate Marceline's red markers, mistaking it for candy. And then he starts sinking in quicksand and turns into a drill to get out. And he does, but he also blocked their exit out of the underground city as a result. You'll see constantly throughout this episode that Jake is a repeat offender when it comes to being a liability. It's almost like it's Freaky Friday and Patrick and Jake switched bodies. This world isn't all sunshine and rainbows, and it looks like either me or Marceline will have to teach Jake a lesson. On to Jake's second offense. Because everyone was stuck, they decided to have a snack break, and this is where Marceline realizes Jake's fat ass ate her red markers. So Finn goes exploring for some red to avoid Marceline turning feral. Finn's for real fixing this useless guy's problems that he caused. So whilst Finn is exploring, Marceline decides to tie herself up for Jake's safety, and Jake started munching on more food. This episode almost turned me into a Jake hater. Something about the way he was acting was just getting on my nerves. But this is a one-off. Jake's still fun to use in multiverses, so he survives for now. Back to Finn's POV. He finds a door and explores further, since he decided lava would be bad for Marceline. It may be red, but it's dangerous, kids. So then he follows around this red light, which seemed to turn all these people to sand. This is also what will happen to all you viewers when I do my face reveal as well. The more you know. Once Finn got to the root of the red light, he found some turtle dude illuminating a ruby, and the turtle thought Finn was some guy he knew, but after they cleared up the confusion, Finn finds out the turtle guy and some other dude planned to turn everyone to sand and reanimate their bodies to take over the turtle dude's home planet, but that failed due to lack of communication. But it's okay, if an army attacked that planet, I would have stepped in. The turtle dude is depressed because he wasted all his life down here, so he scuttles on home after having a brief argument with Finn, telling him the crystal is an emerald when Finn thinks it's a ruby. And Finn got permission to take the ruby back, so he goes back to Jake and Marceline with it. In the meantime, Jake continues to be a fat shit, and now he wants to eat Marceline after he just finished up his mukbang, so he starts cooking her up with lava. It's at this point where Finn comes back with a ruby, except it's not a ruby, it was actually an emerald. The turtle bro was right, Finn's just colorblind. So at this point, Finn and Jake were cooked, and Marceline even escaped, so just as she was about to bite Jake's balls off, PB saves the boys as she rides in on her Alaskan bullworm. But as she gets distracted by the conversation, Marceline swoops in and sucks her dry. Luckily, the spoon of prosperity brought PB back to normal, so they all fly away together happily ever after. I just thought it was creepy to see a feral and unhinged Marceline on the loose, to be honest. But also, why couldn't Marceline just take a little bite of Jake's blood to hold her over? Surely she didn't need to drink all of it if those tiny red markers were going to get her by. That's just something to think about. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. Make sure to subscribe, emotionally abuse that like button, and comment any other creepy cartoon episodes in general in the comments that I should cover. And as always, see you all in the next video.